I hope because you have all your gadgets in place and you'll be able to disseminate the information as required. So it's a privilege and opportunity for me to be chairing this particular press briefing. On that note, I want to humbly hand over to the party leader to take the road province.
Yeah. Thank you very much, spokesperson.
As a tradition, we may be people from different denominations. So I urge us all to observe 1 minute silence. So it is my humble pleasure to invite the party leader to present.
Yeah, thank you very much, Honorable Spokesperson. And the Honorable Member, Tony Kankala. Honorable Executive Member here present. Aprc militant supporters. And our various political process here in present. May I, on your behalf, welcome the various media houses here in present. And thank you all for sparing time to attend this very important press conference. But I must say that it is regrettable that during the last press conference, either a media house or a media house that we came to know deliberately on their microphone before we commenced the press conference and captured private conversations between myself and Mayor Foley. It had no bearing on the press conference and then made it viral. For us, that was very unprofessional. But it also further indicates, especially the people who did it, that they have not proven themselves to be independent. In as much as you may affiliate, but during your professional duty, you should and you must be professional. And then let me make it clear. The comments then were, we were discussing with Yankuba, and I said some of those people were not attending meetings. It was viral around to mean that Aprc, when we call meetings, people don't attend. But any reasonable person knows that even if we call Aprc militants jokingly, they will fill any place in this country. It has amply been shown at our various meetings around the country. We were referring to some subcommittee meetings that they were calling, and some members did not come. But that was made viral. But what is the essence? Why should you professionally, without coming back to us, make it? And it was not part of the press conference. It had not even started. We are seriously disappointed by that. And we came to know the media house that it is. And we were not surprised. Now this press conference actually is meant to enable us to reflect and objectively critique the Janneh Commission report and the subsequent government white paper. May I begin by stating categorically that we are not opposed to any legal, impartial, and independent investigation or inquiry into the activities of our government, with a view to establishing the truth, thus paving way for national reconciliation and it serving as a blueprint for subsequent governments to borrow from its strengths and formulate corrective measures to address its limitations. We must be aware that there is no perfect government anywhere on the globe. To better understand the intent of the Janneh Commission and the subsequent government-wide paper, which is meant to paint President Janneh and the Aprc black, we must reflect on the sequence of activities leading to the formation of the Janneh Commission, the processes, activities, and revelations during the Commission's inquiry, and the lopsided conclusion of the government-wide paper to draw our own conclusion. Our fears since at the onset that the Barrow government has already passed judgment against former President Janneh and the Janneh Commission, and indeed the TRRC, we are created to lend flesh to their already passed judgment at all costs. The institutions were remote managed to reach those conclusions, with intent to make Gambia antagonize former President Yahya Jammeh and the Aprc. But make no mistake, we are resolute and fear no sacrifice to safeguard our rights and establish the truth. As we are yet to lay hands on the full Janneh Commission report to make a more critical review, it suffices for now to state the following to enable independent, honest, and critical-minded patriotic Gambia draw their own conclusions. What I will enumerate will go to prove our own conclusion that this regime, this government, had already concluded before even the Commission or the TRRC or whatever that we are guilty. And therefore, as I said, they made the ground to ensure that it is more controlled and managed so that they can let flesh to the conclusions they have drawn even before the Commission. The list I will enumerate would make independent-minded people actually understand what we meant. We begin with the negative smear campaign and insults on radio, television, print, and online media against former President Janneh and the Aprc. And these announcements were sent out to people as if they had been investigated and proven, and that they are the facts. They were not seen as allegations against former President Janneh or the Aprc. From those various negative reports against Aprc and the former President Janneh, that we are all aware, we went throughout 2017, 18, and today, up to the establishment of these commissions of inquiry. But we also know that the Commission's lead counsel, Ami Bensouda, was alleged by the Commission's secretary, Kurang, of many misdeeds, including conflict of interest, and asked that she resign. If you remember, she was the lawyer to one of the parastatals, Social Security, I believe, in the sale of the Ocean Bay Hotel, and her signatories were there. These were given out, and many other things that's happening within the commission. But the only thing they did was to remove Kurang out. And we must not forget, during that period, Ami Bensouda's brother was the Secretary General at the Office of the President. Now we ask, if you are looking for justice, and not lopsided justice, you want to investigate me, him, and everybody else, and it comes to light through documentation that a participant or the lead counsel was involved, because the least we expected was for her to resign and present herself, or otherwise government will push her out if they want justice. This had not happened. Hardly did even the independent press pick most of these things up. We further remember, if you remember, just at the commencement of the Commission of Inquiry, we as a party, Aprc, we were unceremoniously sent out of our office. And to date, some of our equipment are in that office that we are not allowed to take. Our air conditioners, our CCTV cameras, our tanks, etc. are all back there that we were not allowed to take. Our vehicles were seized. Our bank accounts frozen by a commission that has yet to decide on this thing. Let's not forget that when President Badama Barrow's government came to power, within 3 months they were able to provide brand new pickups for their political leaders. We all saw it. If those people can do it within 3 months, much more a party in government for 22 years. We wrote to the Attorney General and Minister of Justice back and we were called to the police. We explained our case. They said they were investigating. But we are asking, where are those vehicles? If vehicles are seized or frozen, accounts frozen, there should be somewhere where everybody is seeing it. Nobody would tell me where those vehicles are. In fact, after seizure, we saw some of those vehicles being used in the streets of Gambia here. And we have had information that some of those vehicles have been repainted and some are even sold outside the Gambia. That goes to show the intent of this government against the Aprc, even before judgment or proof were made available. We now are aware of this. In the Commission's report, we are yet to hear anything about the Aprc vehicles and the fee, about our bank accounts and the fee. What's happened? So these are, I'm telling you, some of the reasons that made us reach the conclusion we have reached. We are also aware that President Jammeh's vehicles, his cattle, and other properties were sold just at the commencement of the commission. Does that make us believe that the commission had already made conclusions that those things were illegally gotten to warrant them being sold? Because if you have not made judgment, why sell? freeze it, keep it until judgment is made. But what we came to understand, and therefore we challenge the Barrow government, is that some of their own senior members of the coalition purchased these vehicles and herds of cattle. That some of them have herds of cattle which hitherto they had never had. That these things were sold at giveaway price. In this circumstance, we challenge the government to come out with a comprehensive list of articles and properties sold, to whom they were sold, and for how much, to allay or put up these allegations. It is Gambians' right to know. And I challenge journalists to find out from government, to make them publish the list of those who purchased those properties, herds of cattle, how much and who they are. That would definitely allay people's fears that it was done transparently. The other point, it is illegal for the Commission or any authority to look into the period between July 1994 to the end of the transition. You are aware that in the Commission's report and the subsequent government white paper, they were looking into the period July 1994 to the end of the period transition, which by the 1997 Constitution paragraph 13, subparagraph 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Let me remind you that when Yankuba Toure was taken to the TRRC, he said, even before appearing before the commission, that he would not speak in camera. They took cameras in-house, they sold it out. But he told them, I will not speak because I am relying on certain provisions of the 1997 Constitution. Despite all that, the gentleman was taken to the commission. After a few questions, he refused to answer questions that relate to the period under which he had immunity, indefinitely. What did we hear? He was told that he will be sent to the Attorney General, Minister of Justice, to be charged for contempt of the commission. In the press release, just after that, we heard the lead counsel there, SFR, say a few things. One, he said the junta committed genocide, which by all standards and intents and purposes is untrue, it's not true. The ICC, the International Criminal Court, said nothing happened in the Gambia from 1994 to January 2017 that can be judged or seen to have been any genocide being committed. Who then is Safan? come out with those pronouncements without backup. What we should learn from it is the intent, as I earlier said, that all these things are here to mislead Gambians to reach conclusions that they have already drawn. The same SFR said in his press briefing that the immunity clauses in the Constitution were meant only to protect the junta people. He even said Musa Janneh and others were not even involved. To that level, and to prove him wrong, I beg your indulgence so that I will read a few sections of that immunity clause as provided for in paragraph 13, subparagraph 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 of the 1997 Constitution. Yeah. No, it's not. All right, I have written it somewhere. I have the 19. Give me the Constitution. I have the 1990. Correct one. These ones were amended. Okay. All right. I'll just take a bit for all of us to know and understand and weigh it against what SFR, who according to others is a legal luminary. But for us, he may be one, but he is unprofessional in his job, in his duty. 13.1. No member of the Armed Forces Provisional Ruling Council, any person appointed minister by the Armed Forces Provisional Ruling Council, or other appointees of the Armed Forces Provisional Ruling Council shall be held liable or answerable before a court or authority or under this Constitution or any other law, either jointly or severally, for an act or omission in the performance of his or her duty. I will jump to, I go to 3 for you all to listen. 3 says, for the avoidance of doubt, it is declared that no action taken or purported to have been taken in the exercise of the executive, legislative, or judicial power by the Armed Forces Provisional Ruling Council, or a member thereof, or by any person appointed by the Armed Forces Provisional Ruling Council in the name of the Armed Forces Provisional Ruling Council, except judges of the Supreme Court or the Court of Appeal, shall be questioned in any proceedings whatsoever. And accordingly, it shall not be lawful for any court or tribunal to make any order or grant any remedy or relief in respect of any such act. And I go to the last one, which is 5. I'm not going to read all. 5 says, it shall not be lawful for any court or tribunal to entertain an action instituted in respect of an act or omission against a person acting or omitting to act on the instructions or authority of the Armed Forces Provisional Ruling Council, or a member thereof, and alleged to be in contravention of any law, whether substantive or procedural, in existence before or during the administration of the Armed Forces Provisional Ruling Council. I will not read all. this goes to indicate that it's not exclusive or it's not limited to the 5-man country. All they appoint, even messengers are protected. But these were the words of the Safar. When Yankuba went to was sent to the Attorney General, the Minister of Justice, we all heard him say he will teach him a lesson. Batambe, he showed Gambians to epitomize decency, rule of law, and democracy himself. Uttered and said he will teach him a lesson as he owns the laws of the Gambia. What did he do? Rather than charge Yankuba Toure for contempt, he was immediately charged for murder. And Yankuba to date is in detention at Mile. The contempt charges that came later were thrown out. But what is most worrying is that those who professed and confessed to have killed the people are roaming around the streets of Gambia. Somebody who was only alleged, only once, is in custody in Mile. That is the new dispensation, new Gambia we all cry in. So as I said, it is illegal to look into the period of the transition. If the commission goes to look into it, they have violated the constitution. In this circumstance, rather than them saying in their report that they will table a motion in Parliament so that President Janneh can be criminally charged, because it is only that they can bring criminal charges against former president. Rather than do that, they should table Parliament. They should table motion in Parliament for President Barrow to be impeached for violating the 1997 Constitution. Violating any provision of the Constitution tantamounts to impeachment. With Parliament lend years to a government-wide paper and the report of a commission which violated the Constitution, I don't think so. If you look at the commission itself, if they are not doing what they want, they were not interested in law, procedure, or regulation. They were doing what they want outside the law. The commission deliberately violated Section 204, subsection 1 of the 1997 Constitution. It reads, where a commission of inquiry makes an adverse finding against any person, it shall, underline, it shall mandate at the time of submitting its report to the President, inform such person of the findings and the reasons thereof. The Commission submitted their report in March of 2017, towards the end of March. The law says, let us at that time, all those people who have been affected adversely by the report, they should have been informed. None of those people I asked were informed. And the law further states
that if they are informed, within 3 months they have a right to appeal to the Court of Appeal against the judgments or the government wide. Let's get this clear. This is not a court. A commission of inquiry is not a court. You sit before the commission, they pose you the questions they want, push you towards what answer they want, and then you say whatever you want and you go away. In a legal process, there is cross-examination of witnesses. If you say this, somebody will tell you, no, what about that? So make sure the truth is established. That's nowhere in the country. So you can easily remote control the commission to get what you want. And that's what we have seen. We have seen witnesses who would come and say, President Janneh asked me to withdraw money. Eh? And where is the money? I gave it to President Janneh. President Janneh is not a signatory to that. In ensuring justice, it is obligatory for you to provide proof, evidence. Either a witness or a written document. Everybody knows that. But immediately you say President Janneh asked me to do it, everybody, the commission agrees. Conclusive. No more interrogation. Where is the money? I gave it to him. Oh, it's fine. He took the money. And where is the money? He has embezzled it. They don't even want to know where the money is. A scenario where President Janneh asked Social Security to provide money for the purchase of about 10 fire ambulances for the airport. They debited President Janneh for that money. They don't want to know where the money was spent. Fine. But we have seen recently that the Port Authority has given approval for payment for the erection of police post at President Barrow's hometown, Mankamankunda. A parastatal. Within this short period, authorizing payment, that is legal. But this one is illegal. Let's all look at it. All these things are happening. That's why I said we are not going to make any allegations that we cannot make. We are presenting our case for all of us to see, and then you will see why we arrive at the conclusion we arrive. As I said, the process in the commission, we all saw it. The process, how people come and go. If you look at Ami Bensouda, the way he questions people, we all look at it. And let me say this, the commission report to the public. The president may not publish it if he feels that it has some security impact or whatever. But what is clear is the commission sat in public. So everything said there, then there could be nothing significant. But this is what happened. We all saw it. People were pushed to point fingers at President Janneh. We saw it. And the people there, if you remember, President Janneh set a commission on tax evasion. Those who were found wanting in that tax evasion commission of inquiry are the people sitting over to determine President Janneh's fate. Does it mean that we don't have other Gambians, independent-minded Gambians, honest and impartial Gambians, to sit down and give Gambians the truth? You expect us to believe those people? You expect us to believe Ami Bensouda's report when he himself has been found wanting? You expect us to believe that? Is he better than those people? Is he better than Borikoli, Buba Demba, Modu Sabali? Is he better than them? Now, let's go to the Commission's report submitted to government. The Commission submitted a report to government. And the government is supposed to come out with a white paper within 6 months. But we know that before that white paper, a lot of things had happened. So various things, before even government taking over, bringing out the white paper. As I said, sales of Janneh's properties and all these things, all those things happened. Our vehicles, everything happened. Even before this conclusion were. But let's look at the government white paper. I heard President Adama Barrow say that whether you vote for him or not, he is president of every Gambian. I salute him for that. He's my president. He's your president. Honestly. But he has not proven that by his actions. As I said, he has not proven that by his action. The Commission of Inquiry made recommendations to government. Government on its own decided that this one we are not accepting, and this one we are accepting. Then why do we have to set up a commission in the first place? Why don't they just decide that we are going to punish Lamin and Binta and give license? The commission recommended against the COP, the current COP, Alhaji Usman Sise. We are all aware. Remember, he is the current. And alleged commission said that he was the signatory to some of the accounts. He had received about $2 million, etc., etc., etc. And very little about Buba Demba, about Borikoli, about others. And the government said they are not accepting the report on the COP Alhaji Sise, but accepted the report on Demba, Bori, and others who are seen to be Aprc and not part of the government. Selective justice. Openly. Selective justice openly. Is it because Sise knows a lot that he should not be dismissed? If he is dismissed, he will unveil or reveal things that we don't know. Is it because of that? Or is it because he is part of them and these ones are part of the Aprc? Or not part of his job? Is that the system of democracy, rule of law that we yearn for? Open day robbery, especially on the report where there were no counter questions to validate it. We have also seen that a young man like Momodu Sabali, who throughout the report, you read the report throughout, is not tagged for any amount of money that he has taken. You can be saying he assisted. But this one, they said he received 2-point-something million. And Momodu Sabali, that young intellectual, who did his best for this country, despite whatever limitation, you banned him for life. Is this not a witch hunt? Let's be honest. And yet, people like Noah Ture, Mamure Njai, and others were warned said they are warned. And don't do it again. Look, we are here. We have not seen the entire report. But what that we have seen, these are conclusive. We all see. Open, lopsided judgment. That's why I said if President Barrow says he is president of the entire government, it's true, but his actions don't display that. He's lopsided, one-sided, and he's allowing a clique of people in this system to draw the Gambia to a standstill. We will prove them. As I said, you look at the recommendations against the former Vice President of the Akibayo of country. People who are not part of the system. You just come and victimize them. As you like, as if you own the laws of this country. As if we don't matter. We are Gambians, the same rights you have. Let them not assume that we are all sleeping. And the government white paper further went to talk about President Janneh's total earnings. They said it's about 23 million gross. They are calculated. And therefore, he could not have purchased some of the properties he had purchased. Fine. I just want to know how they arrived at his legal earnings. How they come to know it. The man was a big farm. A lot of other things. But other side, we are aware, and it is being said, that senior coalition government officials bought properties in Latrikunda, in Bakau, Brusubi, and outside the Gambia. Some have built properties in millions of dollars just within a period of 2 years. If President Janneh cannot earn that within 22 years, they should explain to us how they were able to earn those monies in 2 years or 1 year.
Yeah.
I said, these people have made their judgment, and they, at all costs, will bring fake proof to show Gambians that this is what is true. Now we begin to ask, these properties, some people even know the properties were, some properties were sold to us. And have you forgotten also, where is the $33 million that was lodged in the First Lady's Foundation that was being investigated? Media, tell us the final conclusion. The 57-old brand-proof pickup given to the National Assembly, at the time, they were in the name of President Barrow. The insurance papers were in the name of President Barrow. When you people started talking, and everybody started talking, the insurance papers were withdrawn, and the new insurance papers were issued in the name of the National Assembly. Look, if you need to glass house, don't go through. All these things happen here. And a lot more allegations. Nobody talks about it. And we are also aware that President Barrow is making his hometown a home village, a town now. He's building executive mansions costing millions of dollars. have street lights there now. Scholarship. Look, I have said, despite the shortcomings of our leaders, we as Africans must begin to respect our leaders they live on. I'm not saying don't take them to account. In Europe and the Western world, those leaders don't do wrong. President Bush took America into war in the Gulf, in this place, in Iraq, where thousands and thousands of people were killed. A lot of things happen. But we Africans don't want to take that stand. There is no perfection in human behavior. What we believe is, if a government comes to power, we should be able to look at the weaknesses and strengths of the former government, borrow its strength, put in regulatory frameworks to guard against its limitations, so that that government will do better than the previous government. And the subsequent government will do better. And we move forward. That's the only interest for Gambia. But throughout these 2-3 years, every corner of the globe of the Gambia, Yaya Janneh APRC, Yaya Janneh APRC. No development, no efforts, nothing happening. It's all Yaya Janneh APRC. Every time. Has that helped Gambia? It will not help us. Talk about it, see how to regulate it, but provide the service. Students can no longer go to college now. Because 7,000 now has been increased to about 12,000. This government wants to justify that. When we were thinking of 2018 January, we are going to provide scholarship for university education in this country. You cannot sustain it. You cannot maintain the even free secondary education. You are now putting more burden on poor Gambians. Their families will go, but some of us, our parents cannot afford it, and therefore we will not have the opportunity to go to college or to go to university. So it is going to be not be afforded. Now, we go now to the Attorney General, the Chief Legal Advisor, custodian of our legal affairs. I told you, when Ba came in, what he portrayed to Gambians, all of us, was here is a young, brilliant lawyer who epitomizes the traits of decency, morality, rule of law, democracy, good governance, and everything. But his first knock came when his brother, senior brother, Campbell, you remember, Yankuba Baji's wife, who taped him when they were investigating Yankuba. They never heard of anything, only that he's gone. We are aware again, the same champion involved in the passport scandal. He's trying to push the blame to President Barrow and said he only applied and that it was approved by the president. Ba is a legal luminary. He's a professional lawyer. You go to apply a passport for your mom, for your stepmom, for your sisters, all because they are going to Mecca. My mother does not go to Mecca. Or your mother. But at that side, even if there are regulations that give them privilege, Ba, who shows himself to be a champion of decency and morality, should not have done that. Even if they had that privilege. It is not decent, morally incorrect and he had to return the passport. Where return the passport? Same pattern. In his own words, I am saying this, it is this clique of people who are going to destroy the Barrow government, to put it to a standstill. The same Batambe, if you remember, who in addressing the soldiers of this country, thanked them for making the most attempts on Yahya Jammeh's government. Attorney General, Minister of Justice, you thank soldiers for making attempted coups against an elected government. However, whatever dislike you may have, or hatred, or grudge, you are part and parcel of a system of governance. You are a responsible citizen. You must not come out with your emotions. You deal with situations from a national perspective, not from a personal perspective. That's part of it. You expect us to honestly believe that man? No wonder. Alhaji Barrow, a coupist, 30th December coup, who escaped and went to America, found wanting and sentenced. When he was coming here, government minister gave him a red carpet welcome. A coupist. So Basket Ben goes to prove that. And he is employed as a lead researcher at the Aprc against Yahya Jammeh and his government. Now no more is the barrel of the gun. Now we will give you the time to do it. These people, we are abysmal. And he said, we want to make it clear, as a principled and organized party, any attempt on this government, the Barrow government, by anybody, illegally, if you escape, if we are in government, you come, we prosecute. Whoever you are, we believe in the rule of law, democracy, and fairness. I said Batambedu and his group. President Barrow has to be careful. Some of his colleagues are people like government spokesperson Ibrahim Sankare, Esafal, and others. We are aware in a recent radio interview with the government spokesperson Ibrahim Sankare, who left the source of this country about 23, 24 years ago. 25. He said a lot of things, but he showed his true color, that he is full of vengeance, grunt, hatred. When he was asked, despite all what you are saying against the Yahya Jammeh government, have they not brought any single development in this country? This response, no, I have not seen one. Go to the radio studios, Radio Gambia studios. Even the schools, it's goats and sheep that meet there. Go to Serekunda market. He was again called, he was again told, you want to tell me that you have not seen any? Said he has not seen any. I said, that I want to remind you. What about the establishment of the University of Gambia? The Congo Coastal Road Network is electricity and water. In 1994, when he was living here, 1995, there were only 12 senior government schools in this country. 12 senior secondary schools in this country, 1994. And none of those schools were built by this government, by the previous government, or PPP. 12, that's where we all hustled to attend. And none of them built by the 33-year-old government. At the time President Janneh left the source of this country, there were over 120 senior secondary schools in this country. You don't see that. Even the permanent structures, even those schools before him were temporary structures, mud blocks, sometimes clinics. We also left them. In fact, when President Janneh was coming to power, it's because of water sales and the school children carrying tables on their heads. So we are some of the reasons why there was a issue. Ibrahim and still Sankare said he never saw this. The electricity expansion around the urban, suburban, and the rural electrification phase 1 and 2, street lights in villages, Sankare said he did not see. At 1994, we had 2 hospitals, Bansang and Royal Victoria, all built during the colonial time. No government before that, the PPP government, built 1 hospital for Gambia. Janneh and Aprc built hospitals for Gambia, first of its time. The North Bank of the Gambia, which usually was called Bad Ajaw, the equal side of the Gambia. We have never witnessed 1 kilometer of macadamized road. For the 400 years of colonial rule, 33 years of go from Bara to Kerewan to Farafenni, Farafenni to Lamenkoto to Kasama, the end of the Gambia, all done by Babili Mansa and Aprc. The Kerewan Bridge, Farafenni Hospital, electricity into the Badibus, Nyomis, and everywhere. Sankare said he has no. Even the Mandinaba, Soma, Base Willingara Road. The citadel of democracy, the symbol of rule of law and democracy. Of the art building of the National Assembly of Gambia, where former President Janneh himself was there. President Jawara was there. He goes to Banjul every day. He has no seat. Even his office is located in the GRTS building built by the Aprc. His table was bought by the Aprc. He has no seat. He's blinded. He's flawed. Envy. Hatred, he will not see. We provided free education from primary to secondary. And so his kids were, or his relatives kids were, we have no see. These are the comments of these people, who are the clique, who are bent on burying President Janneh and Aprc, and so now they will fail. We remember again Adelaide Sose, the vice chairman of the DRRC. The people who are to establish the truth and reconcile Gambia, that's the purpose. And pay reparation to people, victims. You go to UK, you say that the obstacle to reconciliation in the Gambia is Foni and the Jola. A vice chairperson of a reconciliatory commission. And honestly, we are all aware. Most law-abiding, honest people who are willing to follow leadership, accept leadership. There is no other tribe better than the Jolas. They are sidelined. They are pushed away. You don't talk about that. These are the comments from those people who are managing the affairs of the commissions of inquiry and the TRRC. Among the leadership, I talked about SFL, the lead. I talked about Adelaide, the deputy vice chairman. you expect us to believe that those people will establish the truth here? So it is clear that Bata Bedu and his cronies, of course backed by President Adama Barrow, he knows these things. We had thought that probably he never knew he would bring a solution to these things. But it is clear that he knows them and he's acting on them. It's part of the whole thing. The Faba Banda incident, they investigated. A report came out. What's other thing? They investigate. Beginning of 2017, Haruja Jata was shot dead in Kanilai. To date, no investigation. Not one person of government has even visited the scene. Haruna is not human, he's not a Gambian, and that Kanilai is not part of the Gambia, no, it's only part of the Gambia. How can you convince us that you want a continuation and you are a government for the people of the Gambia? We were attacked at Mankamankunda on our tour. A small village we could have raised down to us. We were again attacked in Busumbala. Investigation. Aprc, whatever it is. If you remember when our first independence celebration at Independence Square, at the thing, the coalition people, mostly UDP, were returning, and at Kampenda, they stopped at the checkpoint there, and then they had both with those girls and boys who were selling to them. They came down, a big bus, full of people. There was a fracas. The police came, put those people in the buses and asked them to go. Went down Kampenda, pregnant women, old men, school children, everything were arrested. 52 were arrested. In this country, no Gambia, where we are rule of law and democracy. What happens to us? We expect us to believe that this government made good for us. Even here, when there was this election, local government election, we won Kalinding North and they won Kalinding South. They came publicly, we are here, they came, they are stoning us. Stoning us. We asked the police that we want to live here and go to the mayor's compound so that to avoid them stoning, because we have a family here, and leave the main road. The police granted us to leave. We were going, when I came out with the mayor, they threw the tear gas. If you remember, President Janneh left the shores of this country based on an agreement negotiated by the ECOWAS, AU, and the United Nations. Immediately President Janneh left the shores of this country, that document was thrown into the dustbin. An agreement. That's why President Janneh left. We challenge the United Nations, the AU, and the UN to put pressure on this government to ensure that that document adhere to strictly. Otherwise, they will lose credibility within the region and indeed the entire world. They will no longer be able to negotiate between parties. Which party will trust them? You remember the evil nature of this government when they took over. The tractors President Janneh gave to farmers, women groups, and youths. Gambians. The proceeds from those tractors don't come to State House or to Yaya Jammeh to anybody. They own it. They are own. They are done. This government went down, took all those tractors, put them at police stations and the kids compound. Some got nothing there. And then they wanted to sell the tractors to one man to come and buy all those tractors. And I don't know, then it was, I don't know how many $1 million. I think the outright stopped them. Where are the tractors? How would we expect farmers to produce more? Rather than put them away, give it to people to work. You are government serves people, Gambians. They are not given. It's not given to Senegalese or Guineans. All those costs they are given by the government. I am enumerating these things to make people believe why these people we believe cannot bring about justice, and that they have these conclusions. They are just remote controlling to give flesh to their conclusions. If you look at the diplomatic passport scandal that's currently on, you will look at one passport number that I have seen is about D00 14 something, 1,400 and something. I saw the passport. Issued around 17th of July, 2019. And you see another diplomatic passport, D00, 16,000 and something. It means within 8 days, 2 weeks, almost 14,000, 15,000 passports were either sold or issued. And I heard Ibrahim Silla or Ibrahim Sankare saying that there was a newspaper that talked about Yaya Jammeh giving Chinese 9,000 passports. Sankare. Is Yaya Jammeh in government today? No. Aprc is not in government. Let them begin out. You can no longer be fooled. This is what they did. They will tell you we inherited it from a government. When they were deporting Gambia, they said a lot of things that it was started by Yaya Jammeh's time. It's true and so clear that this government is not out to Gambia. They are out for themselves and their families. Most of them, their families are not. And somebody was asking me, Abakar, you were a senior government officer. You had diplomatic passport. I said, yes. What about your kids or your wife? I said, let them go into the record. Even me, I don't even apply. It was accepted to apply. Look, Gambians, we cannot have a perfect government. But we must make sure we have a government that delivers to our expectations. We cannot continue to live under unnecessary hardship and mayhem. Everybody pointing at each other. People who about 3 years ago could not even afford a chair like that. Today we see them, how they live. Yeah, as I said, we were talking about potential. And currently, I think we are about, I don't know, is it 2,000 plus Gambians who are supposed to be deported from Janneh? 2,400. What is government doing about that? See, we swear to defend Gambia and Gambians cost, you put your life in defense of the Gambia and Gambian people, not of the dance of the kings of the West. Where is the 1.7 billion that every Gambian was going to get $1 million? And at the time he said these are promises, pledges, and most of these pledges are tied up. Only do people have 20-30% of pledges. The government went shouting around the country. Gambia economy should run an amount to Gambia back. The government is almost at a standstill, know it or not. Nothing can be developed. No money! We are now trying to organize an economic conference in Spain to woo investors to come to the Gambia. The governance is a joke. You will realize that these people, the West, it's only their interest. They never give anything for charity. Always esteem it tight. That's why Aprc and Janneh refuse all orders and stood for Gambia. And he did it. We have seen it. In conclusion, the Aprc, as positions adduced here, rejects the Janneh Commission report and subsequent government white paper. The processes were remote money to give flesh to their already concluded judges. In this circumstance, we demand that government revises its biased and lopsided decision against President Janneh, Aprc, and innocent Gambians affected by the report. We further demand that our party vehicles, which are nowhere to be found or seen, be immediately returned to the party. We further demand that ECOWAS, AU, and the United Nations put more pressure on the Barrow government to make them honor the MOU signed. We want to make it categorically clear. Let our discipline and respect for authority be interpreted as weakness or cowardice. These qualities are part of us. We are disciplined and we respect authority. But we are resolute and we are poised to fight to safeguard our rights and establish the truth. We are prepared and we fear no sacrifice to surmount all obstacles to ensure that our rights are established and the truth prevails. Finally, I want to comment on an issue that is the issue of the judge. You can see here. He didn't make audios. He had been on it since the onset. From the MA saga, before the MA saga, up to now, they are on it. He alleged that there is a committee, an elite committee within the Aprc, led by me, himself, and Usman Dam. And he said they should ask me, and that was established by President Janneh. And that before anything is done, he should sit with us. No, a man who knows nothing, he's not well schooled. He's traveled, but he's primitive in nature and thoughts. We want to make it very clear that all what Itim Jaju said is untrue. He made allegations against President Janneh and said let them ask me, I am saying he is lying. I want to send signals to all APRC members and sympathizers that they should be very careful with Kitim Jaju and his close associates, cronies, I call them. And we are sending our warning to Kitim. He either toes the party lines and conforms to party regulations, or the party will decide on his fate. We want to make that very clear. So we, the executive, the entire membership of the executive, disassociate ourselves from it. He knows nothing. He does not even know the constitution of the party. The worst side is he's talking about President Janneh. I bet my life in my prayer that President Janneh would never talk. This we want to make clear because some of our members, executive members, are so-called who is he? So we want to make that clear, and want to thank the press corps for your time, and pray that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala continue to guide all of us so that we can put our country in better state, so that peace, progress and prosperity can reign in this country for all of us. I thank you all.
Thank you very much. It has been marathon press briefing, well articulated, and all as far as the daily happenings of the government is concerned are also we have to take the time to give you a detailed press briefing because we are all a principal witness that from 2017 to date, there have been smear campaign on the APRC, just like the party leader rightly mentioned, trying to see how APRC will not exist again in the soil of the Gambia. But with his conviction and commitment, determination to salvage the party, which was challenging in 2017, I don't think there's anything whatsoever that can stop APRC from continuing to grow from strength to strength. On that note, members of the media houses, you each have 2 questions. Yes, just listen to me. You have 2 questions. And if you ask your question, it is 2 in 1, that's the end of it. Yes. Okay, you can ask a question and I'll give you a chance to ask a follow-up question. Yes. Well, you bring each media house, rather. Each media house. Thank you for that.
Not all the media houses will be active. So those who raise their hand.
Okay, I'll give opportunity to those who raise their hand.
Yes.
But each and every media house has the privilege to ask 2 questions.
Exactly.
All right?
Can I compose?
What you do is identify yourself, the media house you represent,
Exactly.
and then you come up with your question. Tell us who you are and then media house you represent.
Thank you very much, Honorable Kabakari Tomadjara, for the brilliant expose that you have currently done. Your explanation is clear. Despite the fact that your opinions are yours, you are entitled to your view. But my question is, I am Abubakar Sadiq and I am with G58 Radio. You've said you are claiming about the properties, the frozen accounts. Is it constitutional for the APRC to claim ownership of those properties or the frozen account for the Gambians? Number 1. That's my first question. Constitutional for the APRC, slave ownership of the properties or Gambia? That's my first question. My second question has to do with the ICC. You said after following investigation, thorough investigations, the IEC, that's the International Criminal Court, has come to the conclusion that nothing of genocide or human rights violation has been occurred in this country, which could have led Janneh to the ICC. And in your own opinion, in your own candid opinion, Honorable Janneh, do you believe that human rights violation in the past 22 years occurred or not? Thank you so much.
All right. Thank you very much for your question. Your first question actually is it constitutional for the APRC to claim ownership of our property? I have not seen any constitutional provision that was quoted to deny us ownership of those property. There was no court order, court case that went to determine that those properties will not be owned by us. So by all standards and means, those are the only reasons why you can deny somebody ownership of a property, even if it does not belong to you. You go to court decides it. I am not seeing any of that. Two, let's say our account, they were frozen. Our vehicles, they were seized. We expect that they should make a determination to say that APRC vehicles seized will not be returned because of A, B, C, and D. But no mention of it. You think we will forget it? And where are the vehicles? Even if you want to claim them, where are they? If you seize property, you put it aside until the determination. Those vehicles are nowhere to be seen. Over 20-something vehicles. Where are they? Is that the rule of law? So we have all rights, until proven otherwise, to claim for our properties. Nobody came to us to tell us we have taken your this property because of APRC. For our accounts, I have a contribution to that account from my salary. President Janneh knows nothing about that account. Why should you freeze it? And if you freeze it, why no determination? How are they getting their monies for their operations? So is that fair? We have been tolerant all along. We have been keeping quiet, waiting for determination. Determination is done, nothing is said. We are resolute. We will fight to the last minute to establish the truth and fight for our rights at all costs. And I must say this: APRC as a party is a force to be reckoned with in this country. You like it or not? We are a determinant factor in anything in this country. Even the peace is because of APRC. Let's get that clear. The second point was whether there are human rights violations in this country, whether I believe there were. I said in my opening statement that there are violations of rights during our time. There are violations of rights now. And everywhere else in the world, there are violations. Everywhere. No exception. The best of democracy, there are violations. You see, the essence of governance and the beauty of selecting people who have moral values is that some of those violations should go to the barest minimum. And if they do exist, we push against it. And we should not allow individuals, operators, to our knowledge, to continue to be doing this. The world is a process. We cannot have a perfect system. The only perfect system is Islam and probably Christianity. Okay. There is no perfect system. So yes, there were violations. And that's why I said the TRRC and the Commission should look at the records of the Aprc, the strengths of the party, governance here, the weaknesses and limitations here. They will borrow from our strengths. They will put measures to prevent a recurrence of our limitations and weaknesses. And we move forward. What is done cannot be undone. This is what we are saying. But there are people bent on the other side who have grudges against the system because they were punished for their behavior. And we will not sit back. We will not sit back to look at those people to and that's it. Yes, it's not about genocide. But when he's talking about the question was, do I believe that there were violations?
No, you don't understand it. I said, you know the ICC, the International Criminal Court, you said investigate, and they come to the conclusion that, you know, not in the Gambia, not something can lead Janneh to such a place. So now I said, in your own opinion,
there were violations.
Exactly.
Yeah, this is what I have answered. I have answered that question. There are violations, but the violation is not the Human Rights Commission. The National Criminal Court is not for violations of human rights. It's for genocide and other things. So those things are not for that. And even if that is so, is it African leaders who are to be going there? Kosovo? And all other places. Why Africa? Why Africa? Why Africa? Why us?
I have no control over further elaborating on the question, which has actually opened rooms for Mr. Sedika to ask a third question. So don't judge me as biased. I said 2 questions for Media House. For my leader had the energy and the anxiety to answer this question to an extent. It's open up, Sedika had the room to ask another question. Yes.
Thank you very much, Honorable.
Otherwise, you will jump on your name and the Media House.
Okay, I am Keba Ansumane. I work for Chronicle newspaper. I would like to ask the fact that the government-wide paper has banned your party, Janneh, plus the former vice president of the Aprc. What is going to be your position? And also, you did say there has been selective justice. Can you expound on that, please? Thank you very much.
Yeah, I said in my conclusion, I said we demand that government revises its decision on this. That's our point. And I said further that we will not stay by and look around whilst we are being bullied or we are being denied our rights. We are resolute, we will do everything and we will sacrifice everything to make sure that the truth is established. That's what I said. These are commission, as I said, these are commissions report and all this. It's not a law court issue. If it were a law court issue, I would be a little bit worried. But these are people's own calculations, remote control conclusions. We are not worried about that. If you remember, this man, Alhaji Barrow, you think if Janneh was here, he will come here on a red carpet? Huh? No. Well, but he is here. Tomorrow also, it's possible Aprc has a government. Your next question was
about Janneh. Janneh has been banned. What is the action of Aprc as a party? No.
Huh?
Janneh has been banned. Now, what is the next move? Are you going to select a new party leader who's to say the affairs?
No, it's not. This is government white paper is not conclusive. This is what we are saying. It's not conclusive. We have a lot of avenues to our disposal. And our first avenue is to express an opinion on it and to ask government to reverse. Our second will come, the third move will come, but we are saying we will do everything humanly possible. And we are willing to sacrifice even our lives to make sure that the truth is established. This is what we are doing.
Yes, Jawa, I'm giving Jawa this. Oh, no, the lady.
Thank you, Honorable. My name is Imon Jao and I work for the Foreign Ministry. During the last, Aprc, Congress that was held in Buea, the parties came up with a solution, and among them was that the executive shall issue a declaration calling for an immediate resignation of the IC chairman, who the party claim that have achieved his objective, saying that he have achieved his objective that former President Janneh have finally leave. And the other question is, what is the party doing? Did the party engage, are you coming up with a resolution? As it was part of the resolution that was passed, during the Congress in Buea. And the other question is about, the issue of Tufa Janneh. During the last press conference, the party said, they did not consult former President Janneh about the alleged rape issue. Did the party now engage former President Janneh concerning about that allegation of sexual or rape scandal? Thank you.
Yeah, as regards the issue of the IEC chairman, we have shown our reasons why it's not born out of enmity or grudge. It's born out of facts that avail themselves in the process. We had the IEC chairman himself expressing happiness in getting Janneh out. Chairman of Independent Electoral Commission. So we are saying for that institution to gain credibility, the chairman goes. We will never trust that chairman again. And we in our various consultations, our various moves, our various writers, we have said this thing. When the time comes, that's the time we are going to establish what we are going to prove what we can do. Too far, we said categorically, you ask President Janneh, I said no. You ask somebody for something that has element of truth or anything. And for me, it's derogatory for me to ask President Janneh. That lady who should be thankful to President Janneh for whatever reasons, for monetary or there are cliques. Various things happen in this country. There are cliques all out to try to tarnish President Janneh at all levels. These are facts. There are people who are just bent on tarnishing the image of Yahya Jammeh at all costs, so that Gambians will antagonize him. And the irony is, those remarks and instincts serve as fertilizer for the Aprc. We're growing bigger and bigger, and I even want to believe one day most of you here will be part of the Aprc. But if you have to follow the truth, you will see, we will establish the truth and you will see.
Thank you. Yes, can I take the lady then you? Sorry. This is the first,
I'm Hadisol from Gambian Talent.
Huh?
I'm Hadisol from Gambian Talent Table. My question is, the Commission gives a lot of recommendations and possible punishments for the mentioned parents. Some were banned from occupying public offices, others were dismissed. I want to know, how do you see those punishments?
Yeah, thank you very much. Others were dismissed. I'm not aware of anybody who is dismissed. Those recommended to be dismissed are part of them, and they said they have not agreed. It's those affected who are not part of them that they have agreed upon it. Here, I have said it here. I cannot convince myself, honestly, that young people like, you see this man, he was the deputy chief of protocol. For a short period. He's punished. Somebody who has been there through Yahya Jammeh, throughout Barrow, was given. Buba Demba was, where is Buba here? He was COP, he was protocol, young boy like this. What? What has he done? That Alaji Silla has not done. Alaji Silla has not done. What has he done that those who were warned have not done? This is our problem. I cannot imagine seeing talents like Sabali, our these young boys who were schooled, they are the future leaders of this country. To ban them, and to ban them for life. Throughout your stay, I mean, is that sensible? Not by any court of law, but by a commission of inquiry that was determined by a government white paper as to what they want and what they don't want. It's not based on any facts. We don't like him, we like him. Can we accept that? This is the precarious situation we find ourselves.